Yes, this is Minton's Playhouse Part 2. I want to give another kind of a slant on what made this such a important venue. Some connections that may not be so evident in my first treatment. We talked about the legalese, the union connections, and how they were able to get musicians to come in and play free and not get in trouble with the unions and all of those contractual agreements and things like that, and what the scene was like. When Teddy Hill, who had an association with Savoy Ballroom, became manager at Minton, that opened up another level of how shall I say this, intrigue, and another avenue of bringing personalities in. As everyone knows, the Savoy was all about swing. And so you had the whole swing thing connecting with Minton's, which was kind of like the bebop thing. So you have this transition taking place where you didn't kind of slap the swing guys in the face with this new music. You kind of co-opted them into this music, because let's remember that Bird and Diz, they both came out of big bands. Yes, they weren't hostile to big bands. That's what they came out of. So cats like Lester Young and a young son and Stitt, they would be quite comfortable at Minton's. Cats like Don Baez, when they had these cutting sessions, he would be all in the middle of that thing because he could play. And so you got two things going on. You got this bebop thing that is being developed, and you also have bebop influencing swing, which is causing an evolution in the music that big bands are playing. It's not just 1 o'clock jump anymore for Count Basie. You see, one of the other business arrangements we had there is the Apollo was not too far away. And on Monday night, we had Celebrity Night at Minton's, which means that all the fine acts that were at the Savoy or at the Apollo, especially at this point, they would come over and get treated to free food at Minton's. Yeah, we didn't talk about this part. Minton's had good grub. The food was really tasty. People wanted to eat. The food was as hot as the jazz. And so all the people who were playing at the Apollo, yeah, they got to eat too. They were hungry. So guess what? Minton's got some stuff that smells good, tastes good, and the music is hot too, and it's different, but you know what? It's adventurous. Let's see what we can learn while we fill our bellies with this good Minton grub. And this is all sponsored by the family that ran the Apollo, Theater. So it was not unusual to have Duke Ellington and his whole band at Minton's. It was not unusual to have Count Basie and his whole band at Minton's. It was not unusual to have Benny Goodman and his whole band at Minton. Because after all, Charlie Parker, who was instrumental in the band, at Minton's, had played in Charlie Christian's band, had played with Benny Goodman, for a short while. I mean, they didn't get along so well, but there was a mutual respect. So Benny Goodman would come around, and so would all of his musicians. So Minton had this great food that was an attraction. They had this business relationship, kind of, sort of, with the Savoy. And with the Apollo, which is bringing acts from those venues that would not regularly be associated with Minton's. And although they're coming primarily for the food, they also will come in and jam. And so they are learning and sharing with these hot new bebop cats, and these hot new bebop cats are affecting what bebop is doing and what big bands are going to be doing in the 50s and beyond. So I wanted to take a little time just to focus on the fact that Minton's was more than just a place where cats came in and sat in, and the whole Kluk thing and Mingus and Monk and Diz and Bert, JJ, it was more. You got Prez in there, you got Sonny Stitt in there, you got all the cats that were in the Basie band in there. You got Basie himself in there. You got Coben Hawkins in there. You got Lester Young in there. Oh yeah, you got Duke himself in there. Oh yeah, that's right. You get the King of Swing in there. So this was a big conglomerate. Let's make sure that we understand that some of the things that are going on in today's world, where we have this snobbishness where like, okay, you listen to that so you can't come here, or you listen to that so you can't come here, that wasn't going on at Minton's. As a matter of fact, Minton's was allowing for a cross breed, a cross wind, a cross pollination that stimulated bebop and swing. And because of the personalities, particularly on the Monday night, Illuminaries night, you have people with great credibility that are going out and spreading the gospel of this new music, giving it credibility and wider acceptance to a wider audience. And that is another reason that Minton's Playhouse was the place to be. The food, the wide range of personalities, and the great music, and the sharing, and the mutual respect that the young musicians had for the older swing musicians, and the older swing musicians had for the young Turks doing their bebop thing. Let's understand that although this was a revolution of the music, it was not contemptuous. It was not a struggle. It was not a war. It was a peaceful and nurturing environment where everyone benefited and everyone benefited from wine, women, and song, and the great food at Minton's, as well as all of the celebrities. So I just wanted to drop that knowledge on you as well, so you understand how this journey continues. Thank you very much.